On this episode, you get a free canvas bag with every listen. No, wait, it's nylon. No, wait, it's just an old grocery bag. Please pre-order. Welcome to Save Every Universe. My name is Alec Garcia. I'm a bug that kills other bugs with a nail as I unlock new powers and explore a stunning hand-drawn 2D world. And I'm going to go on the record that when people compare me to Dead Cells, they're dead wrong. You don't know this one.
I don't know.
It's too indie.
It's pretty underground.
It's as far as indie games go, it's very mainstream.
I still don't.
Yeah. We were talking about it last night, actually, when we were playing Destiny and Bacon Cookies.
Oh, Anthem.
That's it.
Is that Anthem?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
I'm the Anthem.
Nice. My name's Robbie. I'm a talented and idealistic prince with a flaming sword who may perhaps be the most famous from a game that is not my own.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I know what that is.
Probably. I learned a bunch of fun stuff when I was like researching.
A character from Smash that I used to play as, mostly?
I mostly played as him.
I did.
No.
No.
Yeah, I used to train with him in tournaments.
You did?
Yeah.
Really? Huh. Interesting. Because you saw how good I was, and you were inspired to go to like a new level with your skills.
All right, side story time.
Okay.
We used to play Smash Brothers, Alec and I a lot. I played with everybody.
Yeah.
Our friendship is founded on us playing Smash, actually.
Yeah, it was like literally on the playground, school ground.
I challenged you and Chris and Craig.
Yeah.
I said,
let's throw down. You think you're good,
yeah,
kind of thing.
Because I was like, my friend had moved away, and I was looking for a new group, and I said I took on 3 of you, and I said if you guys could beat me, I'd never talk to you again.
Yeah.
And I won.
Yeah, that's true.
And here we are.
That's pretty much how you still make friends. Even
I don't know
now.
what else to do. It's with conflict.
When you got to law school, you went down to their media department. You were like, "Hey, you bitches play Destiny," and that was it. And you like made a bunch of friends.
I'll take all of you in the Crucible right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, in Smash Brothers Melee, I played as Dr. Mario. I was pretty good.
Yeah.
And
also
cocky.
I played as regular Mario for that period, and you played as Doctor.
And I was really obnoxious about it.
Yes.
And in people's face, and not a gracious winner.
No.
And I was fucking good as Dr. Mario. And
it's weird that you weren't a gracious winner.
Yeah. And I was all black. I called him Dr. Death.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, it was I feel like it was like a summer day, and I was talking shit to you, and I said, if you could beat me one-on-one in Final Destination with no items, I'd never play him again.
Yeah.
And by some fucking miracle.
No, not some miracle. I was better than I ever got credit for.
It's like the whole thing was a hustle. It's like the first time you ever focused in your life. I trashed you in that game over and over again, and then all of a sudden...
in groups. We didn't do one-on-one that often, or if we did, it had like all kinds of items. Or
you had never played so good in your life. All of a sudden,
that
dude,
might be true, dude.
You become this Smash god. It wasn't even close.
I do play better with like pressure on the line. If you listen to our fighting game episode, you may remember I said, maybe I didn't say this, but usually I have like 1 or 2 good games in me, and then I'm just like bored with them. And so if I am only playing one match and I know it matters, I can play better than I generally play.
Well, you certainly rose to the occasion.
Yeah.
And you won, and I never played him again.
You still haven't to this day? I don't believe that.
I'll play him like a little bit just for fun, but I've honored for Melee, for the rest of Smash Brothers Melee. I never played him again.
Wow, that's pretty good, dude.
I waited until the Wii version,
and
I played with him a little, but I felt even then I felt like I was breaking some blood oath. And I'll never
that was a pretty epic showdown. It really was.
You started out strong. I made a comeback, but I couldn't hold it. And you won.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was embarrassing. No, it wasn't embarrassing. You played a great match, but I was super cocky.
It is one of the best fighting games of all time.
It is really good.
Yeah.
So, from then, I had to switch to my character, who I just was for this week.
Yeah, yeah.
And I ultimately ended up better with him than I was.
When did I start using him then? We'll have to talk about that later.
I don't know. I don't remember you playing him much.
If it's who I'm thinking of, yeah, oh yeah. Anyway, last time I was Madeline from the game Celeste, and I have a bone to pick with the Game Awards. If you listen to our last episode, we talked about the Game Awards, and I mentioned I was surprised that Celeste made it into the Game of the Year nominations, and so I bought it because they had a good Game End of the Year sale kind of thing going on right now. I played all the way through it, and I first want to say it's a wonderful game. It's a fantastic platformer. The story is really good. It deals with depression, which is awesome. It is a fantastic game all around. But I don't know about putting it up against a game like God of War or Spider-Man or Red Dead Redemption. It's a shorter, smaller, simpler indie game. Can you put those against each other fairly, do you think?
I don't know. Actually, I was arguing with my coworker Danny because he was arguing that Cuphead was a better game than God of War. And
interesting.
We both got really heated because it seemed like he was taking the side of like innovation in art and setting.
Okay.
Was what was most important, and I was trying to argue that like while Cuphead is great, it's so much fun, and it's the music and the style is really good.
Oh, the music in Celeste too is incredible. A lot of these indie games have
really good music
scores, and it was in the best score category, I think, and it was right to be there.
Yeah.
I don't have any beef with that,
but to me, I was like, but the story wasn't that rich. I'm not sure like the setting as a whole was as rich. I didn't feel like it's as deep because it's a shorter. Yeah. It's an indie game, right? So I can't spend hours like so.
It's a smaller universe of characters. It's not like a lot of the games that got nominated were open world in some regard or another, and
they tend to be, right? Breath of the Wild, the one last year.
And Celeste is it's one of the best platformers I've ever played. I loved it. But it's like a really simple linear game. Like there's none of the complexity or scale or any of that these other games had. I don't think it deserved to be in the Game of the Year nomination. Best indie game, sure. Best score, yeah. If there was a category for like best platformer, even best action adventure game, okay. But Game of the Year, like the biggest, most impressive, most memorable title of the year, I don't know. Like it almost feels a little bit like it got a pass into that category because it dealt with depression, which is it's a super important issue, and I think the way that they did it was fantastic. But I don't totally buy it. It felt like it was one of those like Oscars-y, like, okay, that movie wasn't that good. Everybody knows it. But because these social issues are all happening right now, it was one of the movies that did it better and dealt with that issue. So let's get it in there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that same problem happens with movie awards, right? Where it's like, what makes something the best of the year? Like, when you start comparing video games, it gets dicey because how do you compare a game like Mario Kart to a game like Celeste to a game like God of War?
Right.
Those are such like crazy different games.
Right.
What makes them good is completely different.
Right.
So, and the way the players that play one are not going to feel the same way that play the other.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not like Nintendo fans are like...
Well, probably a lot of people that played Celeste because it was on all the platforms didn't play Spider-Man or didn't play God of War or whatever.
So, like, I think, anyway, the Game of the Year or the Best Film of the Year, I think there's a lot of bullshit that goes into those types of awards.
Yeah.
Even though they're well-earned and well-deserved, right? Yeah. Nobody has won them that probably didn't do any work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So where my brain went with this, because I also bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I think that game is insanely overrated. I think Origins was way better. And when I'm looking at...
in case you're tracking this, Alec has gone from, I'm not playing that game this year...
to I bought it.
To what the hell. And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
To now... You've gotten rid of it, and it's insanely overrated.
I don't want to take up too much time reviewing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but it felt like a flimsier... I was talking to your brother, actually, and he said it's like they took everything, like the seeds of Assassin's Creed Origins, and then built a new thing around it, but didn't take the time to like polish all the stuff, and they made a really huge game, but they didn't do it as well. I think that's a really accurate description. In my opinion, I don't think Celeste or AC Odyssey deserved to be in the Game of the Year nomination, and I really think Detroit and Far Cry 5 were better games, in my opinion. Because if you look at all the work of like score and acting and the complexity and what Quantic Dream actually did with Detroit, like that game was mind-blowingly, insanely like ambitious, and it was really good. I think Detroit deserved a spot in there now that I've played all the stuff that was in that category, all that was nominated. I think Detroit and Far Cry 5 were better games than those other two.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. I haven't played Celeste. I haven't played Detroit, though it looks really good.
You've played Far Cry though, and
I have played Far Cry, and Far Cry has been the first one I've played. Yeah, and I've played a lot of shooters, and I've never played a game like this. Like to me, it's felt very innovative and different and unique and cool. And
it's really difficult to make a good villain, right?
Yeah,
Far Cry 5 is kind of famous for that since 3. I think let me tell you the definition of insanity.
I haven't even played it, but I know.
Yeah, right? It's like one of the most iconic villains. They're good at it. And Far Cry 5 is amazing because they didn't do it once. They did it 4 times. You have these really distinct villains that are really satisfying to take down in every region. And then you have, like, the father himself, the cult leader guy that you take down in the end. It has a really cool ending. Yeah, it was a really, really good game with story and acting and gameplay. And
yeah, we're almost to the end of it.
Yeah, we're playing through it slowly together. But it's... I really think
have loved the villains. I've loved, like, how each zone has its own story and its own personality.
Yeah.
And it's been a really, really cool game.
It's a good game. And the New Dawn should be good too. But yeah, so I just want to throw in my 2 cents on that now that I've played all the other stuff. Is I think AC Odyssey and Celeste, in my opinion, should have been cut. Detroit and Far Cry 5 should have been in the running.
Yeah.
For those. But anyway, we're not talking about any of that today. That's all house
last week
cleaning up. Yeah.
I was Wolverine.
Oh,
and I want to do a side. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have a side note. I was Wolverine because I saw the Ultimate Alliance 3 trailer.
Oh, yeah,
and
you were talking
was
about that last time.
So I was Wolverine from Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah. And you always do really, like, it's like,
I'm
Luke Skywalker. And
because one,
like, I'm from...
I don't want to burn with this character forever.
That's true.
Wolverine's in, like, a bunch of different games.
True.
Batman's in a bunch of different... What if I want to play Batman from Arkham sometime? Or what if a new Batman game comes out and I want to be that Batman? But now I can't because I already said it 2 years ago.
I guess you could do that, yeah.
So I'm very specific in my... But if you saw my notes...
If you're taking notes here, Robbie, I would like to just see some more specific details that are more specific to the game you're referencing. Maybe just for the future. Hey, I'm not telling you your business, but maybe...
I did. I'm taking on the Mad Titan. I'm always specific.
That's true.
You just miss the nuances. You're simple.
I'm like, oh, claws? That's bullshit.
Claws. Oh, well, which one? He has claws in all of them. I actually always drop a detail that's unique to that game.
You did that with Battlefront 2, huh? The Obi-Wan?
Well, it was Clone Wars. I was trying to like reference his role in the Clone Wars because he's modeled after the general.
DLC for Battlefront was.
Yeah. He's not just like he's not old man Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's supposed to be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
A young general in the Clone Wars.
Starting the Clone Wars.
Gotcha.
So I was trying to be specific. Maybe I fail in my description, but I certainly always intend.
No, you're probably right. I pick out like the obvious thing. And I'm like, what the hell?
And like when I was Batman from the Telltale games, and I tried to say something specific to because his story in the Telltale games is unique.
Okay.
I wasn't just Bruce Wayne. I was trying to specifically be like,
I'm Bruce Wayne's alter ego.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
What?
I broke my rule though with Wolverine. I never actually do games that aren't out yet.
Oh, really?
But I was so excited about Ultimate Alliance 3 and seeing the trailer that...
Yeah.
You do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
You break all rules.
I do but I do them like the ones that are about to come out. I did someone from Far Cry 5 like a couple weeks before it came
You were
out,
like John Marston, and your description was, I don't even know why I'm in the game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a good one.
I normally refuse to do that.
Because it was like hush-hush at that point.
Yeah, so pick someone else.
It's funny.
It was pretty fun. So normally I don't do that. You'll see in my notes I put what an Alec answer.
Did Wolverine. You put that in there? Nice. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Then I picked a character from a game that wasn't even out yet. But,
right.
Like, there's not enough games out. Like, I couldn't find somebody.
Sometimes it feels difficult. Anyway, we don't have to rehash how difficult it is to come up with a character.
Our next episode is going to be about how we pick characters for episodes.
Best characters of all time. That's actually not a bad idea.
Maybe we'll wrap up the year with...
This is our spitballing episode where we come up with
another... we could... Well, it doesn't matter. All right, let's move on.
Anyway, today we're talking about the whole Bethesda debacle that is happening right now. And was specific... Not the Bethesda... I mean, I guess it is now falling on Bethesda for them being shitty. And specifically, what's his name? The Tom Holland. No, that's Spider-Man.
Tom Holland, that's
What's
Spider-Man.
the guy? He's like...
I thought you were Peter Parker's greatest fan.
He's like a meme now. He's like the face of Fallout 76 now, who's like the jackass who screwed everything up. Yeah, so I mean, it kind of is Fallout 76 and that guy specifically. Bethesda's getting lumped in there, even though they've put out a lot of other great titles this year. But yeah, we want to talk about just sort of like the deception and all the stuff that has happened around Fallout 76. What have you on the dock today, Robbie?
Yeah, dude, Bethesda has had a rough couple months.
Oh yeah,
I was just like looking through news articles and I couldn't even find the topic I wanted to bring up. Yeah. Because it was buried in all the other... Like, there were so many negative topics.
Yeah.
They were in, like, a lawsuit with Facebook. They're just having a rough...
They should just say, Doom Eternal, and then all of this will just go away.
Yeah, I always forget that they put those games out.
It's Bethesda id. Like, Bethesda publishes it, and it's more developed by id, I think.
Okay. So
Doom,
actually...
Wolfenstein, all of those were Bethesda. Those were great games.
All right, so... Fallout 76 came out with... We'll start here. Fallout 76 came out with tons of bugs.
Right.
Largely unplayable. so bad that there may be a class action lawsuit. At least last time I was looking into it. Like, there's attorneys.
Yeah.
They might be doing a class action lawsuit.
Stuff that was said similar to, like, No Man's Sky. Like, that level of released a piece of junk that a lot of people thought was broken and unplayable.
Right, but Bethesda doesn't do refunds.
Right, okay.
Because, like, I think No Man's Sky gave some refunds.
They did give refunds, and man,
we'll come back to that.
I like those boys.
Anyway.
Hello Games.
Super buggy, super glitchy, and most of the Bethesda games I've played are kind of buggy, even when they're, like, polished.
We've talked about that on the show before, that it's sort of like a cute... And I've actually heard some people say that now, is like, okay, it was cute for a lot of years, and it's not cute anymore. Update your mother effing engine. People are really pissed about it now.
Yeah, and then that's another...
Because it wasn't just bugs. It was like, I think it was like the Layman Gaming guys or whatever. They were playing online live, and they were making fun of, like, the water. Just the effects of the water going around the rocks. Like, it looked like an old, like, late 90s, early 2000s game. It was just really... shitty dumbed down graphics everywhere, and then you get the mannequin things with the arms like sticking straight out, like the model position thing. I mean, it was buggy, but there was also stuff that was just, there was like the water thing where it was just old and outdated, and it looked like they had no intention of, they favored performance over visual integrity or whatever, and it's like, I guess, but there's a lot of other games that run online and perform quite well that look way better than that, so that's not, nobody buys it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody... I mean, God, 14 is beautiful.
Right.
Anyway, do they... Just before we go too much further into Bethesda, just a side question I want to ask you really quick. So if Bethesda puts out Doom, do those release buggy?
Oh, dude, Doom was amazing, man.
I'm not asking whether it's a good game.
That's what I mean.
Before you get all fanboy gushing on me.
I would say Wolfenstein 2. It was just so fluid and polished. No, I don't think it was buggy. To be fair, I played the demo, and I remember thinking the demo was like, because it was just the multiplayer, and I remember thinking like, wow, this feels really good, but this style of multiplayer is not for me. Yeah. And then I didn't play Doom until later, so I'm not sure how much they patched it, but I don't remember hearing anything negative about Doom. People, I mean, it opened to just like universal acclaim. Yeah, the 2016 Doom is what everybody calls it, is just like a masterpiece of shooters. And I remember people saying that like from the get. And it is a fantastic game. It's so fluid, so polished. I mean, there's no weird, like, you jump to grab a ledge, and you grab that mother effer and climb and move and blow someone's head off and chainsaw someone else, and everything just flows naturally one to the next. No weird, like, Destiny style, like, he should have grabbed that ledge kind of stuff. Yeah, none of that. So, but I think id specifically is more involved in the development side of that. It almost seems like Bethesda's more of like a publisher-y, like behind the scenes kind of thing with those games in particular.
I was just curious because like we did an episode a year ago talking about like when developers don't quit and all of that, and I think at the time of that episode we were talking about, we felt like developers were learning and like not doing that as much or pushing deadlines back. Like Anthem got pushed back a little bit. Final Fantasy VII, Square Enix completely fired the studio. It was like, you're not doing this. This is our treasure, which I think is good. And we talked about it like back then, like it's important because you tarnish the name. Right. But it seems like Bethesda has not learned. Yeah. And like as I was researching for this too, I saw like Evil Within. Right. Apparently. I
always forget that's Bethesda. They put out a lot of stuff that you don't think of as like a Bethesda game. Yeah.
But like I guess it was total shit for like over a year. They had to patch it. Yeah. The first Evil Within. Yeah. And it was like unplayable. I didn't play it. This is what I remember
people like kind of praising it though. They're like, "Oh, it's like really hard to move. That's part of the terror."
But it wasn't.
It's like this. No, it's just a bug. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it, like from what I understood, like the two, Tony works here and another coworker works here. The first guy played it when it released, and it was like shit. Yeah. And then Tony never got around to it until it was patched. Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, let's see what the big deal is."
It's amazing. Yeah.
But it took him like I heard it took over a year and a half, or around a year and a half, to like fix the game. Interesting.
I played it within a couple months of it releasing, and I remember it being very like the movement was very frustrating. I don't remember it feeling.
Was the movement supposed to be frustrating?
That's what they said. That's what the guy who. Because it was one of the original developer guys of Resident Evil, or like the original creator or something, and he said that he wanted to recapture like that Resident Evil 1 style, like where the controls felt a little bit limited, like you couldn't just fluidly like flow through the world. That you want it to feel a little bit restricted, so when a monster's like barreling down on you, it adds to the tension. They said that was like a design choice.
Did
but
they fix
if there
it
was
though?
actual,
Did they change it?
No, I don't know. I quit halfway through the game because it was so scary. But I don't think so. From what I've seen, I didn't buy the second one, but from what I've seen of the gameplay, the movement looks very, very similar. Yeah.
So maybe I'm wrong. Well, from what I understand, though,
no,
it's still
there might
months,
have been bugs
like,
in there
problems,
that they just didn't. Yeah.
And now they've done the same thing, like with Fallout 76.
You were a big Bethesda fan, though, and you were
not a big Bethesda fan. So
yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I know what I signed up for.
Right.
I'm a big Fallout fan.
Yeah.
I don't like Skyrim.
Okay, but you were not excited for 76, at all.
No, because it was an online survival game.
Right.
Like, I'm not into that style of gameplay anyway. Like, I wanted to be alone in the wasteland. Mm-hmm. And I'm normally a multiplayer.
With really cool characters and,
Yeah, I mean, like, Fallout 3, I've liked all the Fallout games. I've played 1, 2, 3, New Vegas, 4. I've played all of them.
Which is interesting, because it's like, okay, what's the
I did not play Fallout Tactics.
So. Is that the side-scrolly one where you build?
No, it's a tactics-based game.
Oh, there was another one called Fallout Shelter or something. Vault. Yeah.
I did play that.
Was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was okay.
But it's like they
took
what people like the most about Fallout, and we're like, oh, let's rip that out and leave the shit that's buggy and broken, and let's just let people play together. That'll be fun. But story and characters and player choices and adapting your play style as you move through the world and meeting interesting characters, that's Fallout, right? When I think of it, I've only played 3 and 4, but that's what I think of as Fallout, and it's like they gutted all the shit that people like, and
it seems that way.
Let's just make a buggy shooter online.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Huzzah!
Saying as soon as it was like Fallout Online.
Yeah,
I was over it.
Yeah,
I didn't get excited in the beginning. When I think it was E3, I didn't even give a shit about the.
Yeah,
I didn't care. I don't care.
You know what's interesting is because even though they have a reputation for bugginess, they do have a reputation for as being a more or less good game maker. That they make good stories, they make good characters, all that stuff.
They make big games.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's I think that's what they're best at, is how big the game is.
Okay.
Not everything about it. So I intentionally play Fallout on PC.
Yeah.
Because it's so buggy.
Yeah.
That I have to bring up the console and learn the commands and fix it.
Fix their game on the
fly. And I don't think that's a fun thing.
Right.
I wish I could play on the console. I mean, I like playing on PC.
Yeah.
But I won't touch it on the Xbox because it's so fucking buggy.
I lost save files and stuff. I didn't finish 3 because all my shit broke.
I was playing New Vegas and I sent my companion back to base.
Yeah.
They died somewhere in the middle of the wasteland on the way back.
Yeah.
And if I would have been playing on Xbox, they would have been dead the rest of the game.
Right.
I just would have never got
them off the command prompt.
Yeah, I had to put in the coordinates, bring the you could put in specific tags to bring an NPC to you. Move to, and then you put in the ID, and I had to learn all that and look them up so I can bring their dead body to me.
See, that's something I would never do. That's the weird shit where you replace all the music in your MMOs and stuff. I'm like, that sounds like way too much work to actually be a fun game.
Replacing the music to my MMO is a pleasure.
Yeah, whatever.
But dragging dead bodies around the wasteland because the code is broken is a necessity. I don't enjoy that. I'm not getting off on. I don't like doing it. It's just I have to do that. I got stuck in a wall one time, and
I can't identify which part of what you just said is the weirder part.
I got stuck in a underwater vault.
Yeah.
On a autosave, it just happened to autosave, and I hadn't saved in a while, and I got stuck perpetually drowning.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what happened to me. Something similar in Fallout 3. I went down to a river to try to avoid. It's toward the end of the game. There's a broken bridge, and there's these giant robots on either side of the river or something like that in 3.
Okay.
And I went down and I was trying to skirt around because it was a big ass thing that was gonna annihilate me. And I went down and went around a rock, and there was another little rock, and I got wedged in between it, and it just locked me there. And then I went and it auto saved, and then I went back, and it was my last save for some reason was way back, and I was I'm not doing all this shit again because this game is broken.
But I brought up the console, and turned and clipped,
and
so I could walk out of my perpetual drowning cycle.
Yeah.
Because that was the only way to. It was either that or lose 6 hours.
So you wouldn't say Bethesda makes good games. You would just say they make big games.
I would say they make big games and decent worlds, cool worlds. But the implementation isn't always that great. I tried to play Oblivion.
Right.
I probably put in 15 hours and just was I if when I'm having sleep problems, I should go play Oblivion. Like, I couldn't stay awake, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried modding it. I tried everything.
Yeah.
Could not get into it. I did the same thing with Skyrim.
Yeah.
And as soon as they were like, you can open up and go see anything, it was too much. I was like, I don't want. Why? Mm-hmm. I hope the bad guys win. I don't give a shit. Like, fuck. Why do I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, the opposite feeling of Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. When Breath of the Wild, you, like, hang glide off the island and you're like, wow, this is so exciting.
Yeah.
Opposite feeling in Skyrim. It felt like a chore. I was immediately like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit.
Right.
Turn it off. Like, I can't, like, they don't make good... I want to say they don't make good stories.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, like,
in my opinion,
Fallout 4 was... I really enjoyed the story in Fallout 4 of, like, kind of learning who you were and the father of the thing and the... It was pretty good. And the characters were interesting and the characters were arranged in such a way that it made your choices interesting, at least.
See, that's what... Yeah, I would argue that maybe the world is interesting, but the story is not.
Okay, yeah.
And therefore, because the world's interesting, you're kind of intrigued
making
to see...
choices in that world.
You want to see more of it?
Yeah.
But the story itself is maybe... meh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Huh, interesting.
I still play them, and I'll play the next real Fallout game.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, Fallout 5 is what everybody wanted to see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when I saw it, like, I was... Because this is kind of where I was going with it, is like, at least in my mind, they a lot of people love Fallout, right? So it's like they at least have some sort of reputation as a beloved game creator, right? And so I wasn't fully prepared when I saw the announcement of 76 to call it a bullshit, blatant money grab.
I wouldn't have called it that either.
I was prepared to say that, though, around the same time with Call of Duty, like, jumping on Blackout and cutting their campaign. I was like, what the fuck is it? A bunch of money grab and jump on the bandwagon, blah, blah, blah. And then they did it really well. And now in hindsight, I'm like, okay, like, it looks like Fallout 76 was the... Like, let's just shove a cheap, shitty game out as a money grab because people love online service, people love Fallout. We'll make money here, and then we'll go do something else over here, and it just totally bit them in the ass.
It definitely did. I wouldn't have called it a money grab. I would have thought, like, I guess this makes sense to some people. I'm sure there are people out there who will enjoy this, but I'm not one of those people. So there's been other practices like this, right? There's been I was reading about Tony Hawk 5.
Yeah.
So I guess Activision was about to lose the license.
Yeah.
And so they just put out this total shit game so they could keep it. Did you
know? No, I remember.
I know it was
the
crap.
Game getting just garbage reviews and stuff.
But I guess it was so Activision could keep the license.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just had to shove one out the door because it was like a contract
it was about
deal?
to expire.
Oh, okay.
And I guess like the demos that people got on disc weren't even like... It was like an executable file.
Yeah.
That downloaded the game.
Okay.
So like if you bought it used now, you can't even play it.
Oh, wow.
Like all kinds of crazy stuff like that.
I mean, I think 2014 to like Battlefront 2 though, right? Like more recently, like that's kind of been like this tidal wave of miscommunication. Like there was within that window there was No Man's Sky. There was the release of Destiny where it was like, where's all the story? Where is the rest
what
of
they
the
promised
game?
wasn't what came out.
Yeah.
Fable actually did that back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember Fable 1? You were gonna be able to do fucking everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then it was like this really like dumbed down morality system. It was still fun. I liked it with the horns and the
But if you just compare it to what he said versus what came out.
Which is very No Man's Sky-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going back to what you said earlier about like developers should have learned their lessons by now. Like we thought they learned their lessons and then Fallout 76 comes out, right? Like it is a little bit baffling now. It went from like outrage with No Man's Sky to like let's pick up pitchforks and make a change in Battlefront 2 to now it's just like, what the fuck? Were you not paying attention? Like this whole last year was 76 and now it's like they really want to stick the screws in Bethesda because it's like really like you should have known.
A wizard should have known better. For sure. Like really though, a year later, and they didn't learn. Like, don't they listen to our podcast?
They should.
They should.
If you know someone at Bethesda, you send them this episode.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
You know what?
We're not going to put our email at the end of this. I don't want to hear about it.
This will be the nicest thing they've heard probably about their company.
Yeah, they got some nasty threats and stuff, I think, from
the
canvas bag situation.
There were some people who were like apologizing for them and like, it's still going to turn around and be the greatest game of all time.
Well,
and they're comparing it to like No Man's Sky and other games that have gotten fixed post.
I'd like to talk about this actually in our next episode. Stay tuned to next week. Because there are people who do play 76 and like it, which is weird. I don't know. I think we should talk about that. We're going to talk about that and more in our next episode
But they play with people.
Oh, that was my cliffhanger, man.
Oh. Are we stopping?
Thank you for listening to Save Every Universe. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to support us financially, you can do so at patreon.com/Save Every Universe. Also, I just want to say thank you. We've had a couple good months of downloads, and we're growing, and we only grow because people who like us and listen to us share us with friends and family and such, and it means a lot anytime you share our episode or tell someone about us, and you clearly have been doing that, so thank you very much.
Oh, that was really nice.
Merry Christmas! Happy holidays.
Also,
Happy
you can support us. Mm-hmm. And you already said that right on patreon.com. But
give the email address just in case someone at Bethesda wants to reach out to us.
It's at it's Bethesda.help. I'm just kidding.
.help! !
You can reach us at saveeveryuniverse@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Or if you're a patron, you get exclusive access to the Champions of the Universe channel on Discord, and then you can just talk to us.
Chat right with us on Discord.
You can tag us immediately, and we will respond within a week.
You can do just at here or at everyone.
Yeah, you can do that.